welcome to A Gypsy's Kiss, the book club. I'm Shelley Carney.
And I'm Toby Eunice. Stick with us a couple of seconds and we will talk about The Thrill of the Chase, Chapter 25, Ode to Peggy Jean. You're back.
And we're back. Please take a moment now to give us a thumbs up on this video, to like it, because YouTube likes it when you like our videos, and so do we. And then take a moment to share with your social media contacts and let them know we are live and they may join us right now. And then make sure you have subscribed and click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we go live or release a new video.
Go ahead.
Except not.
Go ahead.
No. All right. So now we have...
Housekeeping, you want towels?
So who wants towels? I want to send out thanks to our moderators, Jimmy Faust, Joel Lewicki, Jason Eunice, and Eric Schmidt. And these guys will help keep our chat safe and the conversation flowing. They're also really great about providing additional information and links for us. Today's presentation will be followed by...
I'm trying to watch that.
Open Q&A.
I don't want it to blow out our eardrums when it goes crazy.
Oh.
So after our presentation today, we'll have open Q&A. We won't open the phone lines, but you can leave a voicemail. But we will open the text line. So anytime during today's program, if you have a question, please text it to us, and I'll see it right here on my phone. And there's a better chance that we'll see it rather than we're looking at 4 different chat rooms right now. So a lot of times, even if you do use @AGK, we won't be able to see it just because of the amount of traffic that we're seeing. So again, if you have a question, rather than just a comment, just send a text message to 1-800-947-1043. That's toll free for you. There's no charges associated with that, okay? So let me get a couple of things done here. We're looking at 4 different chat comments. Is that your Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to refresh this for Facebook. Sorry, we're trying to figure out how to watch Facebook at the same time, so just give us a second. And
all right. Well, I've got it.
you do?
Whether or not you do, I do.
Okay. Well, let me just try and get it. All right, there it is.
And you talked about this open phone lines deal.
I did, and the volume.
Everybody, write down that phone number.
So you can.
And you may begin texting at any time. 1-800-947-1043.
And you've got it on there too.
Okay.
So we're good.
That's working. So.
Yeah. So that you've got Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope.
4 people watching on Facebook.
Oh, nice.
So, and I'm probably one of them. So.
Hi, folks on Facebook.
And you're probably another one, so there's 2.
So let me, before we go on to the presentation, let's talk about our wine today.
All right.
It's a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc from Monkey Bay, or Monkey Boy. I call my grandsons Monkey Boys, although they're getting big now. They're not Monkey Boys anymore. But it's a nice, smooth Sauvignon Blanc. And I'm going to read the label to you because I just love the way the New Zealanders write their labels. Monkey Bay wine takes its name from a small but beautiful bay tucked away on the coast of New Zealand. According to legend, a monkey inhabited this secluded spot in the late 19th century. Apparently, it was just one lonely monkey. Monkey Bay wine is distinctively New Zealand, clean, fresh, and easy drinking. Lovely tropical fruit flavors make it a great wine with chicken and seafood dishes, or just to drink at AGK's Book Club.
It says that, huh?
Yeah, it actually says it.
Okay.
What are we drinking to?
All of this that you put together for us.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing,
setup.
isn't it? So I just took a photograph of this particular setup, and I'm going to make a blog post and share that photograph of our new setup and all the technology we've implemented over the past couple of months to continue to give you high quality productions. We're very proud of it, and we hope that you can be patient while we work out the bugs and the faux pas that we'll continue to make, I'm sure, while we're putting this all together. But it's a lot of fun. And if you look at my blog later this afternoon, I'll have a post for it, and you can see a picture of all that's sitting before us.
So cheers
to high quality productions.
Yay.
Very nice, very clean, very fruity.
Grapefruit.
Wow, you can almost taste the mango in it. Wow.
Mango, huh?
Yeah, tastes like mango.
I'm just going to share this to my personal page.
Mm.
And
on
why don't you
Facebook?
go ahead and get started?
Okay. Oops. I'm going to go back here. So today we're going to cover chapter 25 in The Thrill of the Chase, Ode to Peggy Jean. Now, I'm going to advise you that this is effectively the second to the penultimate chapter in the book, although the next chapter is entitled Epilogue, so technically it's not quite a chapter. That means that next week will be the last chapter that we cover in The Thrill of the Chase. The following week, Shelley will be on vacation. She'll be at her daughter's wedding in Virginia. And is it Virginia? Is that where you're going?
Not next week, but the week after.
Week
Yeah.
after.
Right, you're right.
The week after. Shelley will be in Virginia at her daughter's wedding. And so I'm going to do a solo Thursday, and we're going to do an open Q&A on The Thrill of the Chase. Just talk about it. Any comments, phone calls, text messages, whatever you want. So the Thursday after next, when Shelley's gone, I'll be doing that. By that time, we will have finished the book. We have decided to proceed with book club, so we're going on to Too Far to Walk, performing the same kind of analysis on each of the chapters in Too Far to Walk that we did on Thrill of the Chase, and we hope you stay with us for that. We had some other options, including looking at some other treasures or other treasure hunts, but we felt like since the Fenn treasure hasn't been found, and since there's a lot to do over the winter, and since we like this idea of enabling us to get together, we're going to continue with the book club and, as I said, not only go through Too Far to Walk, but find some new wines to drink.
Okay,
So-
with that, shall we move ahead?
Yes. Let me go back to full screen for you.
All right. So today's chapter 25, Ode to Peggy Jean, is found on pages 140 through 143. It's a very short chapter.
And very appropriate for the end of the book, because he had a lot to accomplish in this book aside from establishing the idea of the treasure hunt. But I think one of the things that he also wanted to accomplish was express his gratitude to Peggy and his children for not only the amount of time that they gave him to prepare this book, to pull together the treasure, but as is obvious in this particular chapter, supporting him during the threat of cancer in 1988, which is difficult for anyone. So we have
our cha-ching noise.
So, Greg, thank you very much for your super chat. Greg says, you make a lot of boots in the ground in New Mexico
according to your ideas.
Of where warm water salt. Have you toyed with any solutions to where warm water salt is not a river? There are a couple of situations, although they are not in northern New Mexico, where warm water salt at the inlets to lakes. So yes, there are some.
But that's still involving water.
Right.
No, Toby hasn't. I have. I've talked to him about if the warm water halts at the border, then shouldn't we just start at the border? So far, he hasn't really thought about that too much.
Okay, I get that. I'm pretty sensitive to those things.
He's pretty attached to the water.
I'm pretty attached to the water. I haven't, but Shelley has. We've talked about it, but I haven't moved forward on it in terms of research and analysis, and I think that's still left to be done. Certainly open to it. She is a full partner in this team. and I think should have the opportunity as well as anyone to make her case.
Another cha-ching.
So, okay, so Paul.
Housekeeping.
Oops.
Apparently,
Paul, we are bringing you
apparently want some towels.
We brought you some towels. Okay, Paul, thank you very much for your contribution to Gypsy's Kiss, and we will save your question for the when we get to the Q&A, so we can get through this part of the book. It's actually a very short chapter. So
yeah, it is.
Here we go, page 141. At age 58, invasive cells came into my body and took a kidney. That was bad enough, but the mental diagnosis I gave myself was worse. My life was on hold as chemotherapy and radiation treatment took additional tolls on my spirit and my body. Then, out of nowhere, came a family charge led by my wife, who refused to accept any abstract judgments that ran contrary to my total recovery. She and my daughters, Kelly and Zoe, provided warm comfort and encouraged me to fight the despair that so dampened my slowly passing hours. Peggy sensed so completely the vital consequences of my struggle that I believe she frightened away any remnants of the disease. They must have fled in dreadful horror in the face of her focused passion and unshakable determination. My team had saved my life.
I thought you were going to do the hallelujah thing. Forrest, having lived through cancer, the loss of a kidney, and the very difficult treatments to eradicate the return of the disease, gives credit to his wife and daughters for strengthening him mentally and spiritually so he could survive. Rightly so, for anyone in the healing arts will testify to the importance of attitude and having support to regain health. I believe he is letting readers know that his family comes first for him, not only because of his love, but because they saved his life.
I've lost my analytics for some reason.
Oh, no.
And I'll come back to here rather than there for the super chat. And Paul, I promise you, we will get to your super chat. Page 143. I recovered after having planned my future up to one detail short of the final beer. I had even plotted to have my bones rest forever in silent repose beside the treasure chest. If I had to go, I wanted to do it on my own terms, as my father had done 2 years earlier, with no hospital bed to offer a temporary postponement. It was important to me that I dared to be myself. Today, I live my life with renewed meaning, but always with the awareness that some insidious strain might again sneak into my body. I hope my age has pushed me far enough ahead so as to discourage even a most persistent chase.
Okay. And I thought it was interesting he used the word chase there.
In that term. I mean, in that paragraph.
Because in that regard, his life is the treasure.
To him. So, isn't it to all of us?
I mean, in this, he's saying the chase. What's chasing him is death. So he must be the treasure. Right?
Oh, interesting.
Okay. The one last detail that still needed doing must have been hiding the treasure chest and dying along with it. That means he had written the original poem, but not the book that would go with it. Forrest also gives us the insight that he always felt chased by further disease, but that he kept a step ahead of it for the rest of his life. I think probably a lot of cancer survivors feel the same way. They always have that in the back of their mind that it could come back.
Do you know what the percentages of reoccurrences are?
I don't, and I don't know what is the determining factors in that either. I don't think the doctors even know.
Well, apparently there was cancer in the family because his father suffered from it. Who knows what his grandfather? And I think it was fortunate pancreatic cancer never has as good a prognosis as kidney, not that any cancer.
That's what my grandmother died from, and it was quite painful for her.
Prostate? Kidney?
Pancreatic.
Pancreatic, I'm sorry.
She didn't have a prostate. She was a woman. It was my grandmother.
Sorry. We don't need to be laughing about cancer. Cancer is not something to laugh at. Questions to ponder. Does the dark night of the soul that Forrest went through in surviving cancer and contemplating dying gives us insight to the metaphors contained in the poem? That's interesting. How did you come up with that?
With my brain.
With your brain.
Women have brains
with
too.
With your big woman brain. So tell me what
We
you
can tell you
mean.
about the hippocampus and all the
Yeah.
other stuff like Dr. Ford. But
So tell me what you thought about that.
what I thought about it was when he was putting the poem together, he was thinking he was going to die. He had that in his mind. It was very prevalent. It was the thing that he was struggling against for years while he was putting the poem together, while he was putting the treasure together, deciding what would go in it and where it was going to reside and how he was going to hide it and how he was going to cast his body upon it when it was time for him to die. So that occupied his thoughts at the same time.
So the implication of what you're saying is that the first clue in the poem, begin at where warm waters halt, is the end. And you're contemplating that it is a metaphor for the end of life and the beginning of afterlife?
Very well could be, yeah.
And that the poem describes the hero's journey of Fenn's soul?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, damned interesting that. Ooh, that gets another... Okay, we're going to do some woo-woo. We are definitely going to do some woo-woo. Okay, so let me change... Oh, no, we're good. There.
You wanted
Good
to
there.
show the super chat thingy
I do want
and
to
then
show the super...
move to the...
Yeah.
there it
Okay,
is.
so we're about to open up chat for our conversations with you. Remember that you have the option, as Paul Ammons and Greg Ferguson have already taken advantage of, Super Chat. The Super Chat button is down beneath your chat window. And if you have a quick question that you'd like immediately highlighted and assuredly answered, you can use Super Chat to make it, because Paul's is like a bright red on our screen and Gregory's is a bright orange, so it's very noticeable. So, and we'll get to those, as well as any text messages that you send to 800-947-1043. That's 800-947.
And that'll be on the screen in a moment.
1043. It's already on the screen. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to full screen here. And, oh, I didn't change. What a goofball, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm still trying to get used to all
Yeah.
technology.
It's okay.
Okay, so let's go back. Which one do you want to use? Do you want to use
I don't know.
this? And I go
Oh.
up. Say hi to.
Say hi to everybody.
Starting right there, yeah.
All right. Well, let's say hello to our friends in the chat room, including Davio, Rick Plank, Bill Cross from Texas, Dave Erickson, Steve Gahagan, Aaron Ramsey, Sean Martinez.
Hi, Sean. Is Allie with you? I don't know. Maybe he is.
I know, but people are like, but I'm here.
Oh,
Will you
okay.
care about me?
All right, I do. We
Okay.
do.
Goldilocks is here. And Britt Chaser.
Hey, Jonah.
Ben Treasure Hunters. Cindy
Howdy from
Guess.
the road. He's on the road. Oh, he's on the way to Colorado.
Yeah.
The border, he said, near the border of
Yeah.
Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So
Run for the
following
border.
in our footsteps.
Cindy Guess from Indiana. Deborah Jensen from Nolens.
Nolans. Aaron Ramsey.
Gary Sandberg from Seattle. Steve Smitherman from Bama.
Who else is from Bama?
Oh,
It's Amy Smith, isn't
Oh.
Amy Smith from Alabama?
I don't know.
She's from a southern state that starts
I
with A.
can't keep track of all these people.
Yeah.
Paul Ammons is here. Joel Lewicki in the house.
Wow, Joel, hi. Are you back from your boots on the ground? You have to tell us all about it.
Yeah.
Gregory. Let's
Virgil
see.
Kane.
So, yeah.
Gregory Ferguson. Alan Kay. Robert Johnson. Howdy.
Gypsies.
Copper Dan.
Hey, Copper Dan.
Journeyman. Copper Dan says he's at a art show
Hmm.
in Louisville.
Copper Dan, don't forget to leave a voicemail on the 1-800 number so that we can talk about your... I don't know what's going on with the stream. I hope
Artwork.
I am not seeing anything. Oh, I know why, too. I switched over to Toby Eunice. That's what the matter is. That's why nothing's coming across.
Okay.
Go ahead. Here. Go
I have no room for that over here.
Okay. All right.
I can say hello to the people in the Facebook.
I'm going to do this with
Facebook. We have Lana King, also from Alabama. And she's searching in Wyoming. Thank you for sharing that, Lana. Janet Landgard's here. Hello, Janet. Sher Royal Strickland. And Brad Kinzer. Hello.
Hey, guys.
Thank you for joining
We're
us on
Facebook
Facebook.
guys. Okay. All right. Now we're making sense.
See if I missed anybody. And thank you, Cher. I don't know if it's Cher. Cher? Cher. It must be Cher.
Yeah.
Cher.
That sounds...
Thank you, Cher, for the compliment. Oh, and Joey Perro's here in the Facebook room as well.
From our New York City branch.
That's right.
Okay. That was crazy, wasn't it?
Okay.
Okay.
Enough being crazy. Time to move forward.
Greg.
Cherokee Buffalo.
Chase. Let's see.
That's
Hi, Cherokee
Heather
Buffalo.
Dawn. And Patricia Marin.
Did you already say hi to Jimmy Fest?
Jimmy Fast. Howdy, howdy. I don't remember.
K.
23 Monarcha.
Alan K, thank you. I got your message regarding the transition for my Norton account. It worked perfectly. Thank you. Patricia Marin. Hola, señorita. Fenn Treasure Hunters. Let's see.
Connie Wilmeth is here.
Oh, hi, Connie. If in YouTube or Facebook?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Facebook.
Hi, y'all.
I mean, YouTube. Siddhartha GT.
Siddhartha, the Indian god.
From India.
Yeah.
Oh, is that your friend from India with the daughter?
No.
Oh, that was Mad Hatter.
Madhamaditya.
You called him Mad Hatter.
Well, that was his code name.
Okay, well.
But his real name is Madhamaditya.
Hot Rod Mav. Hey. Jim Black from British Columbia.
Nice. Greg Cockerham, did you say hi? What did you say about the library?
Gage Cockerham?
Oh, Gage Cockerham.
Libby, Montana.
Montana.
Get the manual out, Toby.
Which manual?
I guess on how to run all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, unfortunately, it's about 8 different manuals as of too many buttons. Yeah, wait till you see the photo that I'm going to post on our blog, because it literally covers an entire 6-foot table worth of stuff. Shelley's looking at one monitor over here. I'm looking at another monitor over here. But we wanted to do it. It's all about you, right? So we wanted to do it for you.
All right. So can you answer Paul Ammon's super chat?
Yes. Let me find it here rather than. So Paul Ammon super chat. He says, "Do you believe Forrest Fenn will do what it takes to have a searcher find the treasure chest by next summer?" So it was really funny, Paul.
If what it takes is to tell us where to go look, I don't think so.
Yeah. So Paul, one of the questions I wanted to ask our panel last night, because they were headed in that direction. Some of them were headed in that direction. One of the questions was that I didn't get to ask because we simply ran out of time. Was do you believe that Fenn wants this treasure found before he passes? And then the follow-on question was going to be, do you believe Fenn will provide us what we need in order for one of us to find the treasure before he passes? And I wanted to see how the panel felt about that. And I think I can confidently predict that should I ever ask that question of practically any panel, that the answers will pretty well be equally divided by, yes, I believe he wants us to find the chest, and no, it's a 1,000-year treasure hunt, right? And so in order to answer your question, I have to advise you with the fact that I don't believe that Fenn has an interest in us finding the treasure before he passes. I believe that it is this is going to be a supposition. I believe that this treasure will go on for much longer than next summer or any summer in our lifetimes, unless there is some sort of poetic breakthrough, if you will, because I think that's what it's going to take. I think it's going to take either a technical breakthrough or a rethinking, an imaginative breakthrough, or something that's going to put the whole community out there reconsidering their solutions and looking for other ways. And you saw a lot of that in our conversation last night, because I don't think it's going to be found next summer. I think that, and I don't think that Fenn has a desire. I shouldn't say that. It is my opinion that Fenn doesn't care one way or the other if the treasure is found before his passing or after. So I don't have a next summer prediction. I wouldn't be confident in it at all. I think it's a very low probability. So I hope that was worth your $50.
If not, ask another question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've got a text question coming in. So don't forget, when you send your text question in, please, and whoever asked this one, follow up with your name and your location. So Toby and Shelley, my question is, why haven't I heard Forrest Fenn refer to the treasure chest as indulgence? He always calls it by the treasure chest, never by name. You know what? I don't completely know the story of why people refer to it as indulgence. I think there was if I remember correctly, and don't put a lot 100% credibility in this.
Maybe Eric Schmidt or somebody else.
Yeah,
maybe Joe Lewicki or somebody.
Joe Lewicki or Eric, maybe, if you guys know. I believe it comes from one of Fenn's posts on Dale Neitzel's site. That was the only time I have ever heard him refer to it in that term. I don't use it. To me, it's the treasure chest. I think naming the treasure chest, again, it sets you up for a bunch of rabbit holes, just like, is it a hint because the next discussion is that a hint or a clue? I have never heard him in any recording that I've made or any recording that I've seen use that to describe the chest. It did appear, if I recall correctly, and maybe it was one of the scrapbooks on Dale Neitzel's site, but I've never seen it anyplace else. So Steve Gahagan asks, do you think someone can find the treasure chest without ever being to their warm waters halt? Steve, I can only tell you what Fenn has said, and basically he has said, if you don't know where warm waters halt, don't waste your time, and you're not going to... there's another, and I'm paraphrasing. Please don't quote me on this. There's another one in which he says, you're not going to find the blaze if you skip the first clues. You've got to go each clue in its order to get to the blaze. So, no, I don't think you can ignore warm water halt and walk straight to the treasure.
We need to answer this one because it keeps getting asked, and world famous gamer's not going to give up, so we got to give an answer, because I've seen this question come up a few times.
Where is it? I don't see it.
Right here. AGK, is it a coincidence that the four corners of the poem spell out idea? Yes.
I can only say yes, because that's the first time I have ever heard that description of the poem.
And
so,
I don't see how it gets you closer to the treasure. But if you can explain that, we're
glad to know. Maybe what we need to know is, if you have an idea like that, then if what you've discovered, if what you think you've discovered is a piece of intelligence, IDEA, then where does it come from? What its level of credibility? What is its information reliability? What source reliability is good, because we know Fenn wrote the poem. The question then becomes, did he intend to make those four corners spell out idea? And then the next question is it actionable? What can you do with it? Does it require decoding? Because it strikes me that if you figured that out, the next step would be to figure out exactly what it means, right? And then if it means something, is it actionable? So which is the process that I would go through. And as of this point, I can't tell you. To me, at the moment, it's not actionable, because I would have to bridge that gap between what you just said, which is very, intriguing in and of its own right, and very, you should. I admire you for your ability to pick these things out. But I don't know how that gets me closer to the treasure yet. So I've got to do that process, actually, that I described last night. Okay.
Sean Martinez says, a collaboration of minds would be a breakthrough, greatly increasing the probability of locating the treasure.
Ooh, Sean Martinez, then you are going to love the announcement that we're making next week. And I'll explain a little bit more about that towards the end of today's program. Because I think, as you know, Sean, people refer to that as crowd solving. And we believe that the kind of breakthroughs are going to come from crowd solving and the kinds of conversations that we're having on our panels where, you know, each of us stimulates others to another thought. I mean, it was really funny last night having Christy on because she's never been on one of her panels. But what was amazing to me is watching her eye movements that represented what was going on in her head as an example, a reference point for how her mind was just racing ahead. And I could tell that what she wanted to do was talk. So our format for her is a little bit more difficult because she just wants to get it out. But what was really amazing to me was watching all that thinking that was going on. And then I started watching Michael, of course, as he was making notes. And by the way, he did send me a scan of the notes that he was making last night. And it's just amazing to see the way his mind works. And I'm going to write him this afternoon to ask him if I could make it a blog post so that you guys can see it. It's just damned interesting. It's the equivalent of mental doodling. I don't know how else to describe it, but I see it's almost, for me, it's almost a piece of art. And I want to share it with you, but I don't have Michael's permission to do that. So let me get his permission, and if he gives me that, I'll make a blog post on it as well, because it was just really amazing to see that. So between what was going, and of course Sean, who asked this question, you can constantly see his mind working, and Pam, you could see it all. Now Shelley has to focus on what's happening in the room, so she doesn't have the opportunity. But then right afterwards, we have a little call, she and I, and we talk about the night and what the conversation. So we think crowd solving has a lot to do with it. And I think that what we can do with our channel is make sure that everybody has an equal chance at learning from these crowd solving efforts that we're going to. Everybody should have a chance at, if not participating on the panel, at least seeing the results of it. And I think this new idea that we have, another technology implementation that we have, is going to help us. So that was from Jason, by the way. Thank you, Jason, for helping me with that. So I think this new idea that we have coming from our continued expansion of our footprint is going to help with that, and we're going to plan around that. So let's see what happens with it, see if there's any potential for it. So Lana King from over in the Facebook page says she's also from Alabama, and her, so did you read that already?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm just trying to catch up here.
I know. So Paul is here from the UK. Joel Lewicki gives us a link to find out more about what we asked him to give us a link for.
Which was? Oh, how the treasure got the name Indulgence. Thank you, Joel.
Yes.
So Aaron Ramsey has a question. AGK, what do you think of the one person who finds it being one of his heirs? So Aaron, I think it's a matter of faith, right? It falls into that category that of faith that a treasure exists, of faith that Fenn hid a treasure, of faith that he is the only one who knows where that treasure is, of faith that he said this before, that he hasn't shared the location of the treasure with any member of his family. And think about it, if he even implied in some subtle way that one of his family members knew where the treasure was, imagine the pressure that would be put upon that family member after Fenn's passing. So it's not in his best interest, after he passes, it's not in his family's best interest to even make the community believe they have any inkling where that treasure is. So I would say the probability of an heir of his finding the treasure other than with intent, that is, going out and looking for the treasure, and or accidentally stumbling upon it, I don't think an heir will find it any sooner than someone else in the community. In addition to that, the heir has to consider the amount of consternation that would be created as a result of finding that treasure before anyone else did. And there might even be demands to replace it or to put it someplace else or whatever. I just don't think the probability of that occurring is very high. Okay. Wow. We are going to finish very
Paul
early.
Emmons wants to know, have you heard of the red-black game?
The what?
Red-black game, about crowd solving. Crowd solving, yes. Have you heard of the red-black game?
I haven't, Paul. Maybe you can tell us something about it. Give us some direction of where to look, and then we'll take a look at it.
World Famous Gamer says, thanks. I never got a response when I asked in the last 2 videos. That's why I asked again. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. World Famous Gamer, I will give you the same advice I give to everybody else. If you want to make sure your question gets answered, there are 2 ways. Super Chat is one. You're not required to do that, but send a text message to the 1-800 number, and it pops up right in front of me, and it's really hard to ignore. So if we don't intentionally ignore the chat room, but when we're looking at 4 different chat rooms right now in front of us, and it scrolls in front of us as fast as it scrolls in front of you, and if there's no highlight or anything that gives us an indication there's a question, we just don't see it. I mean, there's just too much.
He says if he makes a video of that, about that, would you look at his video?
I would look at his video, and I would promote it on in one of our Friday night panels. I would recommend it. I can't recommend it until I see it, but I would at least let people know it was out there.
And I don't know if this is a question or what.
From Patricia. Creo que Forrest estaría satisfecho si alguien lo escucha antes de o después. Okay, él ya hizo su trabajo, ahora nosotros tenemos que hacer el nuestro y es encontrar su tesoro. Okay, what Patricia is saying is she believes that Forrest would be satisfied either way, whether it was found before or after his dying. He's already done his work, and now it's up to us to do ours and to go find that treasure. So, gracias, Patricia. That was a very wise statement. So,
I don't know if Davio's answering it or just reposting it.
Que fuerza debería satisfacerse alguien lo encuentra antes o después de morir. It sounds like he's repeating it. So so Davio, you heard the translation. Yeah, basically, Patricia is saying she believes that he would be satisfied either way, whether it's found before or after. Now it's up to us to do the work to go find it. Let's see.
Deborah Jensen says, any ideas how Fenn knows the chest is still in its hiding place? What if someone found it and never made it known?
That Deborah Jensen, that's a conversation that has gone on for as long as I have been in the hunt, since 2013. It probably preceded me. We don't have any idea how Fenn will know that the treasure has been recovered. We think he kind of realized that in 2013. When he started talking about the bracelet and asking that it be returned to him, because I think his expectation was that if somebody returned the bracelet to him, that would be an indication that the treasure had been found. Now, that's going to be up to the treasure hunter. I don't think there's any technology, trail cams, satellite signals, etc., etc. I think he just believes that whoever finds the treasure, and I think he said this once, either Collected Works or Moby Dickens, that the person who finds the treasure will find it difficult not to let it be known that the treasure has been found. And when you think about it, that's going to be hard to keep a secret. Now, I don't see any problem with the individual remaining anonymous. That's a decision they'll have to make. But I get a sense that pretty much everyone who has the potential to find this treasure believes at least the community should let it be known. But there is no guarantee. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't believe Fenn, unless he's informed by the finder, would know that the treasure's been found if the finder decides not to inform anyone. I further believe, like Fenn, that the finder will at least extend the courtesy not only to him, but to his family and to the community that they found the treasure, whether or not they want to release any other information. I think that's the expectation. Minotaur Moreno, Justin, if you had to pick an exact spot the chest would be at in Montana and Wyoming, where would you choose? Well, my first choice would have been Sinks Canyon, but my second choice would be in the mountain ranges, and I can't remember their exact name. I would look in the mountain ranges south and west, within a 100-mile radius in the mountain ranges south and west of Cody, Wyoming. Okay. Oh, the Minnesotans are talking to each other. Joel, Lewicki, and Jenna.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's it, guys. I don't see any more questions. I don't see any more questions on the phone. We're going to wrap up here for the day. And if you do have a quick question, this would be a good time to text it to us on the phone. Let me see. I'm going to go back here. No, I got to go back there and here and there. Okay, you ready to do your closing?
Yep.
Yep.
Are you ready?
I think so. I'm just trying to make sure I've got all of this correct. Okay, and you can transition into it and outro.
All right. Thank you so much for being here today. This evening at 7 o'clock, we'll be back live on thesofterside.me talking about Too Sexy, Too Soon. How long should you wait?
Oops.
Uh-oh, we have a new call. How long should you wait to answer the phone?
I didn't even turn the caller on. Hang on just a sec.
You didn't turn it on.
Well, I didn't turn the do not disturb sign on. I didn't expect a call.
Oh.
But now I've got to take it. So, caller, do me a favor and turn the volume of your computer off in the background so that we don't get it. Can you hear me okay? Caller, can you hear me okay? Hey, caller, can you hear me? So I can hear him, but I can't.
Maybe got pocket dial.
Did I get pocket dial? Caller, can you hear me? Hey, caller, can you hear me? No, I can't get it. Okay. So, caller, I can't hear. All I hear is the background noise. Caller, I'm going to give you one more chance. Can you hear me okay? Talk to me if you can hear me. Nope. All right. Let me fix that real quick. Okay.
Well,
sorry about that.
Call back and leave a voicemail if we
call
if we
back.
missed you.
Maybe that was the plan. Maybe he was planning to leave a voicemail.
Ah.
So.
Okay. Well, and again, this evening at 7 p.m. we'll be live talking about Too Sexy, Too Soon. So basically for the dating couples, we'll be talking about the progression of intimacy and how long you should wait to do that, to become intimate, to get naked under the sheets together. And just waiting for that spit take. Like the couple in the picture. How long should you wait, and what should be your mileposts that you need to hit before you do that, and why? Why should you just not jump right into bed to start with? We'll talk about that as well. For the married couples,
I can only give you the same advice I gave all my daughters.
Get married first.
Don't even think about it.
Yeah, right.
Ever. No, I don't.
For the married couples, we'll be talking about how often is a good happy medium how often do you have sex, how much is not enough and how much is just right, and we'll be talking about that as well. So I hope that you can join us because Toby's got some great stories to tell you that he's going to make up right now because he just like, what? So be there tonight. Change the slide. Oops. Tomorrow, Friday, October 5th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we will be live, or Toby will be live. Toby will be live interviewing. It's all about you subject, number 14. And she is actually kind of famous on YouTube, so you don't want to miss it. So make sure you tune in so you can talk to her, ask her questions through text or live chat.
Yeah, and damned interesting. So I'm looking forward to this interview, and I was really happy to hear that she'd be willing to do it live, because not only will you get to be part of the conversation chat, but you can send us text messages so that if you want to ask her questions, you can do that as well. We're looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yep. And then tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Friday, October 5th, Forrest Fenn Friday Fandango, open text and phone lines. Toby will be here, and I will not be, because I'm going to see Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, and you're not going to be you're not going to be in the room tomorrow afternoon, are you?
No, I'm going to be doing another online conference, all day conference.
Oh,
so.
on the relationship management stuff?
On coaching, yeah, life coaching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So moderators, Shelley's not going to be in production either tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. So if you're free at 1 o'clock tomorrow or 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, please see if you can get into the chat rooms to help me moderate them. I think I can handle part of it on the Friday night Forrest Fenn Friday Fandango, but tomorrow with our guest on It's All About You, I'd like to have somebody there. So not that these guys are bad. I mean, geez.
Just behave yourselves.
Just behave yourselves. Shelley won't be here, so behave yourselves.
That's right. Be polite.
And so I wanted to let you know that we had planned a web conference, neither live streamed nor recorded, a Zoom US web conference. That was the one where I told you to send me if you were interested in participating. We were going to have a conversation about our program planning for over the winter months to see if there was anything that perhaps we had missed that you may want us to make sure we cover. What happened is, as usual in my explorations of these different technologies that we're looking at to expand our footprint, I found something that was darned interesting. It is a tool used by the gamers, but it has a lot of potential for the kinds of conversations that I want to have with you guys. And honestly, I think it fits into what Sean Martinez had talked about earlier, the crowd-solving potential. So I'm going to be exploring it over the weekend to make sure I understand it, and then I will put out another invitation. It requires a little bit more work in terms of you logging on, but it requires less in you being able to use the technology. So it's voice based, it's VoIP, voice over IP based, rather than video stream based. So you don't have to worry about any of that. You don't have to worry about lighting. You don't have to worry about cameras. You just need to be able to communicate. If you can do FaceTime this on your phone, you can use this tool. So I'll have more for you, and then I'll probably do a little promotional video explaining what our plan is and how to use it. And I'll tell you about that next week. And that's actually one of two announcements, technology footprint announcements we're going to be making next week, because we're also going to make one other announcement relating to the expansion of our footprint online. The last thing is take a look at the blog, and what did I say? Oh, I was going to post a picture of our kind of technology setup and explain to you what we've implemented, both in terms of hardware as well as application software. And then if I can get Michael's permission, I'll post a picture of the notes that he scanned and sent to me last night. So I think it's interesting. I'll do it without comment. So it's just I love Michael's mind. I love all our panelists' minds. I love just sitting there. Part of me gets caught up in just watching them talk and think. And I'm supposed to be, thinking about what the next question is. So sometimes you'll see that as the moderator, I'll stutter the first few words as I realize, oh, I've got to come up with a question now for that. But I just love watching our panelists go through that process in their heads as they're listening to the other panelists. So, okay, let me see. Is that it in terms of slides? That is it in terms of slides. So kind of as expected, a short show today because we had a short
chapter
to deal with.
That's right.
So What do you got?
Oh, they're just talking about puppies and kitties. And
Puppies and kitties.
puppies and kitties.
Huh. Okay. Well, why
Grand
not?
puppies.
So for those of you, Paul Emmons and Greg Ferguson, that gave us some super chat today, thank you very much for your contribution. We truly appreciate it, and it inspires us to invest more in all of this lovely technology. So we'll think of something else.
Yes.
I actually already did some, but I got to save up for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you all for being here today, for all your great questions and comments, and for your kind attention. We know you have a choice about what to watch on YouTube, and we appreciate when you choose to watch with us. For Gypsy's Kiss, the book club, I'm Shelley Carney.
And I'm Toby Eunice. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow on It's All About You, as well as tomorrow night on the Forrest Fenn Friday Fandango.
And tonight.
Oh,
on
and
the
I'm
softer
sorry.
side.
And tonight on the softer side, because we're going to talk about
Sexy stuff.
sexy stuff. Yeah.